Hey, Chris.
Hey, Rod.
I got a question for you.
Oh, yeah?
What do you do when your guest calls you at the very last minute and says they're stuck in traffic in Minneapolis? What do you do?
I don't know. I guess maybe make some goulash.
Sounds like a plan. Hey, this is Rod.
And this is Chris.
We are Unqualified
and Unsupervised.
The show where two guys try to figure out life after loss. With no experts, no scripts, just experience.
We're going to have the unfiltered conversations about hard topics that no one wants to talk about, but everyone should. Coming from a couple of guys who were forced to join a club we didn't want to join. Rod, how's your week?
Well, it's been a really interesting week.
No stinking way. I can't believe it.
I know, right?
When have you not had an interesting week?
This one was on the edge.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The edge of not being interesting or the edge of being, oh my God, this is so interesting?
The edge of not being interesting.
Got
which
it.
was good. Pretty regular week. Some cute things happened. We had cupcake day at the pool.
Cupcake day?
Yeah. It's our third annual cupcake day. I order 4 dozen cupcakes, and the kids like it, and it's a surprise. And
so then they can't go swimming for 45 minutes after the cupcake
something like
time?
Yeah, to affect their stomach. But no, I'd been off of sugar for almost a week, and so it was my
Your
my
cheat
moment.
day?
Like kind of a cheat day, yeah. But they were really good, so I'm back on track. But I love the conversations that we have at the pool with the kids. The other night we were all waiting. The kids were waiting for a pool party, and I'd finished with my swim class. Yeah. And I know the subject of kissing came up, and I thought it was really interesting. So I was asking them
at the pool.
Well, these are the lifeguards. These are the lifeguards.
All right.
Yeah. We're all in the office.
All right.
And we were all kind of giggling and talking about things. And so the subject of how old were you when you had your first kiss?
Oh, sure.
And so we were talking about that kind of thing. And then someone like, well, when was the last time you had a kiss? And so of course they challenged me. And I said it was about 6 weeks ago. And I said, and this kid pops up. It was really funny. He's brand new to the pool. He goes,
I had no idea.
He goes, he? And the kids start laughing. It's like, yeah, don't you know about Rod? Yeah, he.
I guess that he doesn't.
Well, he didn't have a problem, but he was just giggling. But everybody was laughing at his reaction to he? He literally stood up.
Well, when you're not ready for it.
It was also cute. The one kid went on and he said something about it. The last kiss he had was his mom. And that got I said in the
mom, huh? Good for you.
The mom.
Did you take her to prom too?
I think this kid would take his mom to prom. He's cute. He's a good kid, and I think he would take his mom. But I love those conversations. At the pool, the kids, they keep me relevant, and I educate them too. So
that's what it's about.
So what about you? What'd you do?
I had the beer fest was this weekend.
Oh, that's right. So, beer on the beach?
Brews on the beach.
Brews on the beach.
Yeah, it's a good time. They bring in a bunch of different craft beer vendors and things. And
kind of semantics, isn't it? Beers, brews.
Sure.
It's still okay. So you went?
Well, of course I went.
Okay. What'd you find out?
Get VIP tickets, and
that's a surprise.
I found out that I know a lot of people.
And they know you.
And they know me. And I like craft beer. It's very delicious, and there were some really good ones there.
What stood out? What stood out?
What stood out? Well, of course, the Imperial Stout at Lake Time, who was the host. That was real good.
Okay.
That was really good.
I had that a long time ago. It's been a long time since I've had that. It was good.
Yeah. No, there was just a ton of really good stuff there.
Yep.
And there always is. It's in the park, so it's a nice, fun place to be.
Was it a great
environment?
Was it primarily Iowa?
Primarily, there's a couple from Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably within like 2-3 hours from here.
So like a Toppling Goliath.
Toppling Goliath was there. Yep. Fat Hill from Mason City was there, which they have fabulous beers. They got a new IPA that's
single speed.
I don't believe they were there.
Okay.
But Bremer was there, and I hate to start going through these and miss somebody and feel like we're,
No, I get it, but get the idea.
You get the idea of Second and State, or is it Second Street from Second and State? I believe it is Cedar Falls area. There's one from Davenport, Front Street.
Right,
it's also a really good one.
What's the one in Dubuque? Confluence. Confluence.
Well, Confluence is in Des Moines. They were there also.
Oh, okay.
Seven Hill. Seven Hill is one that's in Dubuque has like 2 or 3.
Right, because the one I'm thinking about is downtown Dubuque, but
Dimensional.
That's
yes,
it.
They were not there.
Okay.
But yeah, there's lots of really good ones. Tellurian from Charles City. So, Limestone, Osage, just all the really close ones. Tatanka.
Right.
Tatanka Bring. So you got to put your fingers up and do the buffalo horns right every time you say Tatanka.
And for those of you listening, yes, that's exactly what Chris is doing right now. He's got his fingers up.
I can't help it.
Go Toros. Go Toros.
Yeah, it's Pavlov's Tatanka.
All right.
You just got to do it.
Good stuff.
So
well, some of those I hadn't heard about. So
yeah, it was a beautiful day, and we had a lot of people there, and I had at least 2 people ask me if I was running for mayor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because every time they come up to me, I'm talking to somebody different, and
right.
Just that. No, it's just a joke. There's no, I am not. No.
I
want
you have
nothing to do with
no political aspirations.
No, no, I do not.
That's funny. Been there, done that. So yes, I get it.
I know you have.
Yeah,
no way.
I actually enjoyed it. So, I enjoyed being on the city council. I enjoyed helping people through their problems. I really did enjoy that.
You know? But I bet there were a lot of dumbass problems to deal with.
There were a couple, that were kind of challenging, you know, but we got through them.
I'd rather go drag them out of a fire or a car wreck than help them that way or help them this way than.
I think we gave permission one time to have something burned, like the person was moved out and the building was so decrepit that I think they used it as a
there's a couple houses we used for training burns.
Yeah.
Like that. And that was a good time. Got to practice. I got to practice skills we don't normally get to use.
Right.
That we need to be able to do.
Right.
When the real thing happens.
Right.
So yeah, that was good. So yeah, no, it was a good weekend. Spent yesterday on the boat and floating in the water. The water temperature is almost 84 degrees right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I've not been in the lake yet this year.
So we just diapered up and hung out in the water. It was great.
I'm gonna have to get in the water then.
Yes, you do.
Because I haven't been there this week. So this year.
Yikes.
Anyway, so what are we doing tonight?
I guess we're making goulash the way it sounds.
Sounds like a good plan.
I don't know what that really means, but I guess we'll find out.
Absolutely. So, what do you do?
Pulling thread? I don't know. You said so.
Oh, geez. Is this how this is going to go?
Probably.
Oh, crud. Because
Have you been here before? Have you ever met me?
Jeez, are you off your meds? Have a beer, please.
I've never gotten started on any meds. Maybe that's my problem.
Well, this is our situation.
Yes.
Our guest contacted me just like about a half an hour ago and said, "Hey, I'm stuck in traffic." Right. And so we're going to run through a whole bunch of subjects tonight. And we're going to throw some spaghetti up against the wall and
see what sticks.
That's right. And in our way, make goulash.
Yes, exactly. Because you just throw junk together and
pretty much
in a pot and see what happens. So we're gonna have emotionally. What are we gonna call it? Emotional conversational goulash.
Yeah, that works for me.
Right. And then when we get done, whatever's on the floor, you can have to eat.
Jeez. We are so in trouble tonight. This.
Maybe.
Okay. We'll try to be interesting.
Good luck.
So, this is gonna be interesting tonight.
It already is.
Yes. So no, it's we have this laundry list of things that I think we can talk about, and since we're unsupervised and unqualified, we're perfect for this.
I know. We're just gonna go off tonight.
Yes. Absolutely.
Off the rails.
Wow.
Just like Ozzy Osbourne.
Huh?
Going off the rails on a crazy train, right?
Who's Ozzy Osbourne?
You don't know Ozzy Osbourne.
Is he the guy with the black hair and the black fingernails and the tattoos?
Sometimes.
And he uses the F word a lot? That Ozzy Osbourne?
Sometimes that's how he looks.
That's how.
Yeah.
But I wonder how his family's doing because he did pass away this year.
He did pass away this year, yeah. I don't know.
Well, that would be a good interview.
You should call them and find out.
Think we could?
Probably. Probably find a number someplace.
That would be interesting. Well, no. So I'm thinking just a laundry list of things that we can talk about tonight.
Absolutely.
I'm sure our guest we can be able to reschedule her. She wants to talk to us about things.
Yep.
But not exactly sure where to start. I
start at the top.
Okay.
That's a good place.
I'm not ready to talk about gratitude yet.
Okay.
All right.
Why not?
It's too early on. Let's be thankful maybe later.
Why is it too early on to not talk about gratitude?
Because I'm not prepared to talk about it, I guess. What do you think?
I don't know. Gratitude is really hard for me to have for a long time, but it is something that I should have tried to do.
You're talking right away after Janice died.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Like focus on something that I could have gratitude for. Gratitude is a practiced skill. It's not just something you have. It's not just something that happens. For some people, it does.
Right.
But for most people, it's a practiced skill.
But I imagine in that moment, you weren't thankful for any. I mean, you've just lost your spouse,
right?
And like, you want to fuck the world, basically.
Well, absolutely. But you know what? There were people that were there for me. I could have had gratitude towards them,
right?
And it's like it's that little sliver thing. Once you get that sliver going and start splitting that wood open,
right? But it's not the gratitude that like, oh, hey, thank you for coming over gratitude. It's like, look, people showed up for me. People brought me food.
Yes.
Today the sun came out.
Right.
Today my roof didn't leak.
Right.
I have money in my bank account. I have health. I have these things. I have these 2 sons. That's the kind of gratitude you're talking about.
Well, right. Yeah. Not writing thank you cards.
Right. That's grateful. But not what you're talking about.
Of course. No. It's the kind where you're having an actual positive reaction to something small, even if it's just a tiny positive reaction to get back, away from that negativity,
What do you think was the catalyst for you to turn the page and get to that?
That's a good question.
Because we're going to talk about the year of firsts and the year of lasts. And then I had one person make a comment about that year that turning the corner. She used the term I've turned the corner. And I thought that was an interesting phrase about that year after her husband died. I've turned the corner.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so we can talk about time. We can talk about time. Like what was the time frame? And then do you remember anything that specifically said I'm on a new path?
I don't know, because that first year I was a mess.
Yes.
I was spiraling down and didn't know it. I thought I was getting better, but I wasn't. I helped everybody else get through it,
right,
to the point where I thought they were okay, but I wasn't. And in that process, of course, I wasn't being grateful for anything. I was just like, fuck the world, fuck you, fuck me, everything sucks.
Right,
why the hell am I even bothering trying? Why am I even here?
Yeah.
And I think it's, probably really when I met someone and started a relationship that looked like it was going to work, I started being able to be grateful for little things here and there.
Well, how soon was that after?
That was at least almost 2 years.
Oh, okay. So a healthy amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you didn't think you were carrying your grief into the relationship at that point.
I didn't, as I found out I was.
Right.
And that wasn't good either. But I guess I don't see, we talk about all of these shoulds. You should have been better at this time. Or you should
on ourselves all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And, don't be a should'er. But I guess when you say, I'm not ready because it's too soon, like, I don't know what too soon really means, because 5 minutes after could have been an okay time. 5 years after could have been the right time.
Right. Everybody on their own timeline.
Right. And so that's why I ask, when you say, no, I'm not ready, why not? Why were, what?
Right.
Because I'm not saying you're not. I'm not second guessing whether you are or you aren't.
Okay. Now you're avoiding the question.
What am I avoiding?
You're avoiding when did this happen? You said you're clear, to be clear.
Yeah, it was about 2 years after.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah. After I got therapy. After I hit rock bottom and left the fire service and everything and realized that I was a mess and needed to fix something. It wasn't until I got therapy and I could I see what I've been doing to myself,
Right. There's you were able to come out, look at everything from a distance.
I got help.
Yeah.
I got help to figure it out, and once I started looking at it and it made sense to me, I was like, oh, I see what I've been doing. I need to start being thankful, at least for the little things here and there.
Right, right.
You know, like I woke up in the middle of the night, went to the bathroom and didn't stub my toe on the corner of the toilet, you know?
Right.
Hey,
Right,
'cause
right.
I did that many nights.
Well, those are good things to know, and it does start with the small things.
Absolutely.
See,
Absolutely.
I can't think about when that happened with after Jeff. I
Mhm.
can't think of a definitive moment or like, oh, there was this turning point. Because I guess I've always kind of sat in that gratefulness, and my friends were reminding like, yeah, Rod, I do have friends. I think my kind of epiphany came when I realized that I had my 3 o'clock in the morning friends.
Sure.
The people that I knew I could call at 3 o'clock in the morning and they would
Right.
take my call. And I think that was my like, oh, I've got this and most people don't. I mean, if people think about it, like
Right.
who are 5 people that would call that you could call at 3 o'clock in the morning that would pick up they would pick up your call.
Right.
And I knew that I knew that people did not have that. And I think maybe
A
that
lot of
started
people
me
don't.
on that grateful
Mhm.
journey. And I forget to be grateful. I
Well,
do.
I do.
I'm
I
pretty
still
bad
do.
at it.
I'm still working on it.
Right.
I mean, again, it's a skill. And I don't think there is any one turning point.
Right.
Like it was boom, this date at this time, this is when
Right.
no, it's
Right.
it's just like we talk about grief is not linear.
Yep.
Neither's having gratitude and coming out of
Right.
it. You'll have a little bit here and then you'll 2 steps backwards and then you'll take a couple steps forward and a step back and
Right.
you just get to the point where you're taking more steps forward than you are backwards.
Right. Right.
And that's where I'm at right now. I can take a lot more steps forward than I do backwards, but I still back up every once in a while.
Right, right. Because you have love in your life. You have, a beautiful home. You have your kids are healthy. They're happy. They're out living their lives.
Right?
There's a lot.
I don't poop into a bag. There's
Exactly.
a lot of things. I'm
Right.
not stuck in a wheelchair.
Right. And you're not having to take toxic chemicals.
Right. Right.
To
at
feel
57, I'm lucky enough. I am on absolutely no medications.
Right.
Not anything.
Right.
And I'm still out riding my bike. I get to swim in the lake. I get to run, so
Right.
I try to focus on those things. And the other thing with gratitude too is, especially in this area, and I don't know about your family, but my family, gratitude always seemed to revolve around the church and religion and having gratitude for whatever deity you worship. And it never seemed that the gratitude was supposed to be about the people in your life and what you have.
Let me see if I'm understanding this.
Sure.
You're saying gratitude came from a deity or a higher power or
that's
whatever.
where it's supposed
and you're supposed to be grateful for that.
Well, I think I think it's the other way around. Is the stuff that you're supposed to be grateful for came from that deity.
Oh, I see. All right.
So then you're supposed to show gratitude to the deity.
Got it.
First and foremost.
Well, that's what I was trying to be clear about. Clear about.
And it's like, and maybe, I mean, if that works for people, cool. That's great.
Right.
For me, the deity took my life away and where I was going, and this whole, he has a plan for you. Well, okay, maybe he does, but I deserve to know what it is, especially when he took a planner away from me. I mean, she was just an amazing planner, always organized. Everything was planned to the nth degree. And now I'm supposed to just go, plans don't matter.
Right.
Just trust.
Right.
I don't know. So I also had to turn that around and start having gratitude for the people in my life and the things that I had. And it was hard for me to give it to somebody that I saw that took it away from me.
Right.
And I still have a problem with that.
Well, you're reminding me of a conversation I had just recently, about a month ago, with a new friend of mine, and she's Hindu. And we got onto this conversation about gratitude because her family's been pretty successful business wise, and she said I look at life differently. She goes, I'm very grateful about the things I have. They've been granted great wealth, but I enjoyed the conversation with her because even with the great wealth, she was grateful for the small things, that her grandchild was healthy. That they were able to do the things they were doing, and they were able to help the people that they could help, and a lot of times I think when we think of people of great wealth, they're really about the wealth and then that in turn, whatever they can do for themselves.
Right.
And I found this so refreshing because her comments were about, no, we're here to service other people.
Wow, that's
Yes,
awesome.
I have this,
Mhm.
but it doesn't rule my life. And I loved that part of it. I mean, she
Yeah.
didn't say, I'm paraphrasing, I'm gleaning,
Sure.
the
But
content.
wouldn't it be great if everybody thought that way,
Exactly.
regardless of where you were on the wealth scale?
Right. Right. Well,
Yeah. Shit, if people would just be that way on the goddamn street here in town,
right. Right. Well,
nobody's grateful for anybody, and nobody's like, oh, hey, I can help you by slowing down and going around you. They won't even do that.
I just also reminded that the people are people, and I love that
They are.
that we have these cultural differences. But I also noticed that the people that have no money on one end, and then you have people on the other end that have great. They all have the same needs.
They do. Absolutely.
And that's about
Bloom's
connection.
taxonomy of needs.
Yep.
That's something you learn in education, that you've got to have your basic needs have to be supplied, taken care of.
Yes.
Before you can move up and start feeling better about yourself and feeling, secure in life. And
so let me see if I can add this. Okay.
And don't get me stuck on it, because it's been a lot of years since I studied it, so
okay.
I don't know it.
Well, no, but what I'm going to ask you is, I've heard this phrase: you can't pour from an empty cup.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, your cup has to be full before you can help other people. That's not about.
You have to have some in it anyway.
Right. But you're not being selfish. You're just like, okay, you can't give what you don't possess.
Right.
Okay. So you can't give love if you don't possess love.
Right.
You can't give gratitude if you don't possess gratitude.
Right.
All right. Is that?
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that. Yeah. I mean, how can you give what you don't know?
Right.
So, yeah. And when you need it, you need to have those things in order to really be to survive and be thriving in your life. So if you need those, you don't have that to give.
Right.
You might have something else that you could give. It might not be those. Might not be those things. I don't know. Everybody's different.
Well, no, but that's what I found refreshing about this conversation about the gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
We help the people that we can help, and they have the means to do it. I can see how the ripple effect in their family with their children, and how they're philanthropic in many ways. It isn't just money they're giving away; they give away their time as well.
Sure.
And I think that's important.
Right.
I don't have a lot of money. But I can give my time, and I can help people.
Well, that's one of the reasons I was in the fire service.
Right.
I have a lot of money, but that was one thing I could do that was necessary.
Right.
Was a definite need that not everybody could do.
But that was truly affecting you were truly affecting people's lives.
Well, yeah, but I was helping people in my way. I was doing it, especially when I was a volunteer, because then you're truly giving of your time.
Right.
For all of that. So that's why I did that. I could do that.
Right.
And even when I didn't have gratitude and I couldn't give gratitude, I could still give my time to that.
Right. So I'll give you an example of, and maybe you have one too, but I'm grateful for this. This might sound shallow, but I'm very grateful for my strength coach.
Sure.
Okay. And people like, Rod, isn't that expensive? Well, I don't drink, soda pop.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things I don't do, but I do have a strength coach because he keeps me healthy. Mm-hmm. And I recently I was called out on a funeral call to help a funeral director go to a home and do a removal. Mm-hmm. And I had to walk backwards up the stairs, carrying this person and helping anyway.
Yep.
And I've told my coach this. I said, with every step, I said, thank you. You've helped me to be strong enough that I can help this other family. I can help this family do this. And I don't know, has that ever happened to you? Like in your head, you're literally going, thank you. With every movement, you're going, thank you.
Oh, many times in the fire service.
What do you mean?
Many times. That's a physically demanding job. And I the same thing. I've got a coach that helps me with my triathlon training. I've always gone to gyms and spent the money on gyms.
Right.
I shouldn't say always.
But thankful for your health.
But thankful that those people were there to help me so that I could be strong enough to do what needed to be done. When I first got in the fire service, the first thing I learned was the number one line of duty death in firefighters was strokes and heart attacks, generally after the scene, because they've gone in and they've given more than 100% of themselves, and adrenaline keeps you going
Right.
until it doesn't. Most of these people back at the station or at home would have heart attacks and strokes because they didn't take care of themselves physically enough to do the job that they needed to be doing. And I'm like, you know what? Not going to be me. That is not going to be me. Yeah, I'm going to be able to get in there.
Conscious decision to be healthy
and to be healthy and to put my energy and my resources into exercise, strength training, running, and eating.
Yeah.
And fueling myself the way I need to be able to do that.
You mean like the beer this last weekend? Was that fuel?
Life's too short.
Yes, Rod. I was grateful for every drink.
I was so rehydrating. It was so hot out there that day. Yeah, absolutely.
I was totally grateful for every
drop, every drop, and every hop.
Yep.
Absolutely, I was.
Oh boy, that took a twist. Didn't
also,
it?
Life's too short to be perfect.
Right.
You got to live a little bit.
Well, and it is beer.
Yeah.
I mean, it has its place.
Yeah, it could be worse.
We're grateful for it. I just find it very fascinating because people do question that. But when I'm at my age, because I'm 10 years older than you are, and
Tim.
Exactly.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just a decade ahead of you. So if you want to learn anything, to talk to the old guy, right?
Yeah, I'm trying. That's why I sit here.
But maybe
I'll start learning here pretty soon.
But I'm like you. I know, right? But I'm like you. I'm motivated the same way because I wanted to redefine what 70 looked like. I wanted to find what this age looks like. And I look around and I see people really struggling, and I wish I could help them with that. But for my own for my own thing, I wanted to redefine what the age. I didn't want to get to a certain age and be all broken down and all have all these maladies, and it's all preventable.
Well, yes. 90%, 95% of all of those maladies are preventable through exercise and diet.
Right.
Not everything, obviously, but I guess that's the thing that keeps me motivated is as I got older and started watching people retire, and they get to retirement and they're too out of shape and too unhealthy to be able to enjoy and do the things they wanted to do. They wind up being couch potatoes, and just sit there or freaking get sick and die a few months or less than a year into their retirement. And
one of the most dangerous years of your life.
It is. And they never get to enjoy it.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to get to retirement and I'm still going to be riding my mountain bike. I'm still going to be out fishing. I'm not going to have to call my son to say, hey, can you launch my boat so I can go fishing? No, I want to be able to do that stuff on my own. And I know that I can. I mean, I watch you at your age. You can do all of that stuff.
Right. Well, you're talking about a mindset, which is grateful for that.
Right.
But you're also making me realize that I'm grateful for the people that have come into my life have come at the right exact moment.
Absolutely.
And we can talk about that because I went through a divorce. I came out. That relationship ended, and I've gone through all this stuff with Jeff. And people ask me many times, is like, would you do it? Like, do you regret anything? No, my childhood got me to a certain point. My first hair boss, in cosmetology, was excellent. She gave me the foundation of what I use today. I mean, all the right people showed up at the right time.
Sure.
My ex-wife, I wish her the best. We're not going to be friends. That's okay.
But it was still an experience that helps you move forward.
I learned things in that relationship that took me into the next relationship. Right. And then that relationship got me to Jeff. Jeff is going to be the launching point to yet another relationship. I know that person exists. I'm grateful. I have the person pictured in my mind.
Yep.
I know what he's going to be. And everybody's going to love him. He's going to be. I have all the criteria, and I'm already grateful for that person. I haven't even met them yet. They haven't even presented themselves yet.
Right.
But I'm grateful for them.
But it'll be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think people they get lost in that. It's like, do I get down? Like where is this person? I'm ready. They're not ready for me yet.
Right.
But I'm grateful for all those situations that got me to here.
Sure.
I mean, I forget how we met.
Jesus, I don't.
Probably just in the bar. I think it was probably at lake time because you knew people that I knew.
Yeah, I think we just met through friend groups.
I know how we met. I know how we met.
Because I was swimming, trying to learn to swim.
Yeah. That's how we met. You were half naked and I was at the Y.
Yeah, probably.
Because you were going to get in the water and like, God, that guy's hot. And then I realized.
You already knew me.
No.
You had seen me someplace.
Yeah, but then I got to know you.
Yeah, then you're like, oh, God.
Exactly.
Boy, I was wrong about that.
Exactly, right? But imagine you do the same thing. You are grateful about your childhood and those years with Jan. I mean, they got you to here.
Absolutely. Exactly. I spent 20 years in the fire service, but my degrees are in music education. Right. I have a master's degree in music performance and research and history. And, people ask me like, well, do you feel like you just wasted all your college because you didn't do that?
Did you?
And I'm like, no, I didn't. In fact, my education degree and my background is what got me my full-time firefighting job.
Okay, let's diverge. Tell me how.
I will tell you exactly.
Okay,
how
tell me. Tell me how this works.
So when I was 33 when I became a volunteer firefighter for the very first time. No fire experience whatsoever. No fire, no EMS, nothing. Knew nothing about it. But I was living in Onalaska, Wisconsin, up by La Crosse.
Right.
And I saw that they were taking on volunteers. And I thought, what a great way to get involved in my community, meet some people, because I really didn't know a lot of people yet then.
Right.
My dad was a cop in Decorah, so the fire station is connected to the police station. We knew all the firefighters, so I knew it was a really good thing to do, and it was a great community to be a part of. So I joined it, and it didn't take long for me to figure out how to do what I needed to do, how to learn what I needed to learn, because my education degree taught me how to learn. It taught me how to figure things out, how to problem solve, how to think outside the box, how to think critically. And when I say critically,
critical thinking, yeah.
And I think that's one of the problems is people think critical thinking is, oh, I'm going to find all of what's wrong with what you just said. Like, no, I'm going to take what you're telling me and I'm going to weigh both sides of it and go, you know what? There's enough pros to what you said to the cons that I'm going to change my mind. Because what you said makes more sense, right?
Critical, it wasn't mean about criticizing.
No.
It was about how thinking, it's about discernment.
Yes, exactly. And I could do that, and in the fire service, that is incredibly important because we're trained to do, stimulus A happens, we respond with action B.
Do you have a quick story about that?
And sometimes, yeah, I do actually. But anyway, what I'm going to say is sometimes that action B is wrong because we got called to one night, 45-year-old male who got stung by a bee, has a known Allergy, and is starting to react. Okay? So anaphylaxis is what everybody's thinking.
Right.
And so we come to the scene. He's at a hotel in town, and we start assessing him. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to see some things and hear some things that aren't consistent with what I was thinking it should have been. Right?
Right. Like a preconceived.
Well, yeah, he was diaphoretic, so he was sweating, but it was hot out. And he was riding his bike when he got stung, and like, okay, maybe, that does kind of make sense, and at the same time, my partner's getting the EpiPen ready to go because you you shoot him with an epinephrine pen,
right?
Is the initial emergency treatment. And then I'm like, well, let me see your bee sting, and I look at his bee sting. And I'm like, it's not really a bump, like a bee sting should be. Was it red? Was there a stinger in there? It looked sort of like that, but it almost looked like it was scratched too.
Okay.
And so at this point, we're first responder. We're EMT Bs, basic. So we can't do all the interventions that paramedics could do at that point in time. So my partner's getting ready to do that. I'm like, hang on a second. The paramedics are going to be here in just a couple minutes. Just hang on 1 second. He's not all swelled up. He's not
right. Cause that would be my vision that he's welting up. He's
having difficulty breathing. He's diaphoretic and his right hand is tingling.
Okay.
Okay. So, which may or may not be consistent with something else, right? It isn't actually, but it can be. So we held off for a second. The paramedics came in and the paramedics like, hey, did you give the EpiPen yet? I said, no. And here's why. And he looked at me and he's like, okay. And he hooked up the EKG and that patient was having a myocardial infarction. He was having the Widowmaker heart attack.
Oh my gosh.
If we'd have given him the epinephrine, we'd have killed him.
Wow.
But our training said bee sting, known allergy. He's got most of the symptoms of that. And the things that were not symptoms of that were explainable, to make it think,
right.
So, I mean, ultimately, we wound up saving his life because of that.
That's fantastic.
Because I used my critical thinking skills, my thinking outside the box skills, and I want to sound arrogant about that, but that's what I don't even want to get started on Iowa education right now, but that's what my education
All right.
gave me and not my training.
Right.
And that was the difference. So when I got my first full-time fire job, I beat out like 50 other guys for one spot. And many of them had fire science degrees.
Right. But because you had your background,
they had trainings.
Yeah.
They had trainings, and I had an education. And that's that's very different.
Right.
Education isn't about getting a specific job. It's about developing a special set of skills that allows you to get whatever job you want.
Right.
And so that's how it works.
That's amazing.
So when we go back to what we were just talking about, would you change anything? Well, hell no. Why
Right.
would I come out of high school knowing what I know and go, well, I'm just going to go get a 2-year fire science degree. And then like many of the other guys, watching them spend years trying to find a full-time job.
Right. Right. So the gratitude took that form.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's great.
So and that was the thing about when Janice died. I knew what gratitude was. I knew how to have it.
Right. I think we all
And
we
it
all
just
do.
got sucked right out of my soul. And I couldn't do it anymore. I had to go back and practice again.
Well, that's what I was kind of getting at earlier. We forget, but I think when we're also dealing with grief, it's really hard to be gracious, gratitude,
absolutely.
Thankful. It's like
you say thank you a lot. You say thank you all the time. But it's not meaningful thankful.
But in
it's
this
just
moment,
thanks for bringing over the casserole, which I was thankful for. Thanks
Right.
for showing up. But it's not that deep-seated gratitude you have that helps keep you grounded so you can keep moving forward.
But we're both here to tell you it happens.
It does.
Eventually, with time, it happens.
It does, and you got to practice it.
Right.
You have to make a decision to practice it and find the things that you want to give gratitude to, not what other people tell you should give gratitude to.
Right.
And that was my problem. I had family members telling me what I should be grateful for.
She didn't do this or this didn't happen. But I got to tell you though, I got this weird sense of humor. People about Jeff. I said, well, we were lucky, and they're like, you were lucky
about all the way to COPD.
I said, yeah. I said we made it all the way to COPD, and they're like, what? Well, he didn't have cancer. He didn't have a heart attack. He didn't have a stroke. He didn't have all this other stuff. We made it all the way to COPD.
Right. There wasn't. Yeah. It's a different traumatic path, tragic path.
But I think I was trying to put a spin on it.
Yeah.
This positive spin. We were fortunate because, in his last hours, he had a fever, and they said, we need to break this fever because the hospice like, if we don't do this, he'll have seizures. It's like, yeah. And it's like, okay, do you want to see your loved one in the last hours of his life going through seizures?
No,
absolutely not. So I was grateful for the fact, that they came and did what they did, and they got his fever, they broke the fever, and everything was fine. But I can joke about the whole we made it all the way to COPD. But it also, I was grateful that he didn't have a heart attack. I was grateful that he didn't have a stroke. I was grateful that we didn't, all these other things didn't, I was grateful that we didn't have to deal with cancer on top of everything else.
Right.
So in a joking way, I'm making my point of I was so grateful for the other that we all we had to deal with was COPD.
Sure. No, that makes sense. I get it, and it's true. I was grateful that we were able to go through hospice, and she was able to pass away there comfortably.
Yes, and that
and in hospice house. I am not so grateful that they've.
I was just going to say
that facility down.
I was just going to say they closed it 2 weeks after Jeff. I mean, I don't know what because that was his. It was his wish to be there.
Right.
It was his wish and desire.
And it's not just for the patient. It's so good for the families there. And I'm so grateful that I got to do that. And it just pisses me off to no end that some corporate jerk decided that
somewhere
that's not we're not going to spend money on that.
Right.
Well, screw you. You're talking about people's lives here, not, I don't care about your profit. I care about people's lives.
Right.
But anyway.
And their deaths.
And now I have great gratitude that I have that attitude. And I'm not a selfish prick who just cares about profit. So,
And we're so grateful for that.
Absolutely. Gosh, aren't we though?
Okay. So we've covered this, right?
I guess everything except the original question. Why were you not ready to have gratitude yet?
Tonight?
Well, yeah, you said, it's only been 3 years and you're having a hard time.
Well, no, I was thinking about more. I didn't know if I could be gracious tonight.
Oh, okay.
It was more about tonight than this conversation. But I think I've gotten over it. Yeah.
You practice it a little bit.
And I'm so grateful
it's about practicing it.
I'm so grateful that you have these intelligent questions to throw at me. It's
I don't
true.
Know intelligent.
You hold you do pretty well.
Yeah.
But no, kind of moving on the list. One of the things that always stuck with me, it was what happened after 3 months.
Oh, sure.
And I was not grateful for that. In fact, I was grateful for the first 3 months. People were texting me, how are you doing? How are you doing? But literally at the 3-month mark, my phone died.
Yep.
I mean, everything just dropped off. I was like, what happened to everybody? Like where did they all go?
Sure.
Yeah. I now know we have had
We've
this
already
conversation.
talked about this one a little bit. Yeah. They got better.
They got better.
Yep. And expected that because they're better, then you should be too.
Well, screw them.
Exactly. And I think we've talked enough about it on the show that it's not fucking linear.
Right.
It doesn't, there is no you should do it in this amount of time and do it this way. Like, don't you fucking should on me. No more shoulding.
Well, part of me wants to ask some of the questions. Some of them, the questions, like what happened after 3 months? It can't be that they didn't stop. They stopped caring.
Oh, of course they did. No, but I think it really goes back to people have it in their mind that it's about 3 months that you should take, and then they were better, so they figured you were too.
Right.
And yeah, it don't work that way.
Did we talk about the year of firsts and the year of lasts?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Well, that was interesting too, because with Jeff, I realized at one point that I was in the year of lasts, and I think that happened in July of 2022 when he was in the hospital, and he coded on July 4th, a very, very pivotal day.
Sure.
And I realized that I was in that year of lasts. Like, this is probably the last 4th of July. This is going to be the last anniversary. This is going to be the last Christmas. This is the last. I mean,
right.
And as he got sicker, I think he and I never talked about that because I didn't want to bring it up to him. I didn't want to be defeatist. I wanted to be puppies and kitties all the time, the best. And somebody would ask a question. Well, we don't know the answer. So when things would come up, well, we don't know. We just don't know. But I realized I was in that year of lasts, and I don't know if that happened with you at all.
I didn't get a year of lasts. I got about 3 months, not even quite 3 months of lasts.
Okay,
because
but it didn't occur to you before.
No, because in that last year, the chemo was working and holding the cancer in her lungs.
So there's hope.
There was hope. There was hope
until
mid-July when it wasn't working anymore, and the cancer cells were growing despite the chemo.
Right.
And that's when she decided I can't do this anymore and stopped all treatment. So my year of lasts was actually about 3 months of lasts.
So,
and so the one real big last was our last family vacation.
Right.
And we went out to the Black Hills. She'd always wanted to take the boys to the Black Hills and the Badlands. And so she got us a Airbnb in Spearfish, and we loaded up and we went out. And it was funny that the day before we were leaving, she comes home. She'd been out with her mom, and she comes up and she rolls a wheelchair at me.
Okay.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, well, we got a lot of walking to do out there, and I'm not sure I can do it all.
Okay.
Like, all right, I'm pushing you around the Badlands, and I'm pushing you up around Mount Rushmore.
And that's what you did.
That's absolutely I did. They had trails in the Badlands that you could do that with. They had trails at Mount Rushmore.
Right.
There was a few trails we were able to walk, not very many, but a few. And then we went to see, this is great. We went to see, Devil's Tower.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Sure. Right.
And she'd done the research, and she assured me that it was wheelchair accessible, and there's a wheelchair accessible trail all the way around.
No.
There was.
Okay.
The part she didn't tell me is the climb and the ramp.
Oh, because
the uphill push it took to get her up there. You know, I want to say it was like almost a half mile
Oh, wow.
up at a,
Was it like a 45
oh
degree?
God, it was, yeah, not quite that. I bet it was 6 or 7% grade.
Oh, wow.
You know, it was steep. And I got her up there,
That's cool.
and so we got to go around. We got to see the people doing the rock climbing
Oh,
and,
sure,
and
sure.
rappelling off the top. And then we had to come back down.
Okay. What was that like?
That was two boys in front of her on the brake, and me on the backs, holding for dear life, holding her back, trying to get her all the way back down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's classic.
So that was our last family vacation.
Okay. So
that was like beginning of August.
what's ticking through my mind right now? It's July right now.
It is.
So does any of this connect? I mean, like do you
know what?
You're out so far.
No, it didn't until right now. Thanks.
I knew that. I was afraid of like, do I bring this up? Do I bring this up?
No, it's fine.
Well, no, but
it
you know
really,
what I mean. But
it
there's
really doesn't right now anymore.
Okay.
I focus on the stuff that was really
Right.
good about that.
It
was a really great trip,
Good.
and we had a good time, and she felt great the whole time. She didn't get sick, at all, because she wasn't on chemo, so it wasn't making her
Right.
throw up. And by this point in time, she was had a diverting colostomy, of course,
Yes.
and she had nephrostomy tubes, so she was pooping out the front and peeing in bag out the back. She was great. We never had to stop for her.
Right. Right.
You know, we could just get in the car and go.
Well, no, I guess I could turn that on to myself. Like when December comes and Christmas was Jeff's big holiday.
Oh yeah, it was Janice's too.
You know, and you do kind of get, I don't want to say numb to it, but you start creating new events. You know, and you get around it, and so Christmas
Right.
doesn't affect me like it did initially.
Yeah, no, that first Christmas was rough.
Yeah.
You know, because that was her holiday. She loved Christmas, and she went nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Decorating, baking, presents, all of that.
Oh, nice.
I'm not good at any of that.
Right.
So we barely had a tree up. I barely had any kind of decoration. It was,
Right.
you know, and then Christmas Eve, I sat there and went, holy fuck, there's nothing here. What the hell am I doing?
Right.
You know,
Right.
but that was what I could do.
But
that was my best.
But that's what you were capable of at
the time.
At the time, right?
Yeah.
And like with time, it does soften. It gets better.
It does.
But I just wonder. I'm sitting here thinking it's July now.
Mm-hmm.
Do these, and we're telling these stories.
Right.
How does it affect, you know? And maybe you've healed enough as well.
I have, because now I have gratitude on those anniversaries.
Good point. Yeah, the fact
I'm able
that
to
I'm
hold gratitude.
So glad for those memories. So grateful for the memories and those years.
Right.
Because
yeah, like right now, I have a lot of gratitude for what she did to get us out there, because I'd never been to the Black Hills either.
Right.
Mount Rushmore. You know, so I'm so grateful that she made that happen so we could go.
Yep.
You know, September 10th coming up here will be her death date anniversary.
Wow.
You know, and so I'm grateful she was able to be at Hospice House.
Yeah.
You know, August 2nd will be her birthday.
Right. So you have some landmark things coming up here. Yeah.
I do.
No, you're making me think of about the gratitude about Christmas, because I remember Jeff and I, we would take $20, and that's because we had stuff. We didn't need more stuff.
Right.
And I'd read this in like a Dear Abby thing, and this couple had built a house, and Christmas was coming upon them. They didn't need anything, and so they decided to buy $21 gifts. Okay. All right. So I said, Jeff, let's do this. We have lots of stuff. You know, we don't need stuff.
Yeah, I didn't need anything either.
So anyway, what came of that was really interesting. So the first couple of years, we had like 20 presents, and we would wait until after Christmas. We kept the tree up, you know, all the time. But then we'd make ourselves a really nice dinner, and we'd sit in the living room, and for like 2 hours, we'd eat, and we'd open these gifts. And it wasn't the gifts. It was the story behind the gifts. And those are what I giggle about even today. But then he came, he said, well, you know, I'm having a really hard time. So we went down, we had 10 $2 gifts.
Okay.
And then one year, I went downtown. We had a cheese place downtown. And the guy had 18-year-old cheese in his case. Okay. And I said to him, I said, this is good. I said, can I have can I have $2?
So he gave you three crumbs.
Well, no, it was really kind of funny, because I told him what it was about, and he liked the idea. So I get it home, I shove it clear to the back of the drawer, like clear, so Jeff's not going to find it, right? You know. And a couple days goes by, and he goes, "Hey, I found this cheese." I said, "You didn't eat it, did you?" And he realized it was his Christmas gift. So, but the stories were, I found this in a thrift shop, or like first aid kits you could buy for $2. They were a really practical gift, but they were. But then in the latter years, we did $4 or $5 gifts because we were really starting. We spent more than the $20 because of taxes and whatever.
Right.
But I have those gifts today. One of the gifts was a first edition cookbook written by the chef that the Kennedys had.
Oh.
And a year after the assassination, he wrote all these down and created a book. So the book was published in like 1964, but I have a copy of it. It's nice. It's really cool. So I still have these gifts in the house, but the memory of sitting by the Christmas tree, having this meal, and the laughter and everything that we did, we celebrated our Christmas, and it wasn't about the stuff.
No, it was about the gratitude of being together.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the Christmas and the endless Christmas vacation where he knew all the dialogue.
No way.
Every bit of it.
Was it real good, Clark?
Oh, geez. Oh, there are the nuts. That one I didn't catch. You didn't? No, where the mothers are making the gingerbread, and the guys and the dads are snoring, and they got the parade on the.
Yeah.
Well, they're the nutcrackers.
Yeah.
Well, where are the nuts? There are the nuts.
There's the nuts.
Until he said it, I had never caught that.
Oh boy.
Oh, and then the dad, his dad. Did you ever notice his outfit?
Art.
Yeah. Watch his outfit. It's It's Clark's dad.
Clark's dad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Art was
the other one.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the lights aren't twinkling or something or something always negative. Yeah.
Thanks for noticing, Art.
Yeah, yeah. But the dad, if you look at his outfit, his shirt has checks, the tie has checks, the vest has checks, the jacket, everything. But
they're all different.
Yes, but it all works.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all those subtleties.
Sure.
So grateful for that. But no, those years with, doing those things.
Right.
Those are the things that come back now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's another movie I watch all the time because she and the boys and I watched it ad nauseum.
I got to tell you though, it took me 3 years to be able to watch it again.
Yeah,
and then I didn't watch it. It wasn't the same.
I did because Joey wanted to, my youngest.
Right. Then yes, absolutely.
So we did, and so I never stopped watching it.
But to sit there in my living room by myself watching it, I can't do it.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
I'm not grateful for that.
That's too bad. You'll have great gratitude for it again for the absolute brilliant movie that it is.
No, because the new guy that I'm grateful for now,
oh boy,
that I haven't met yet, he'll love it.
There you go.
He'll make it new Indian. He'll make it.
Yep. There you go.
He'll say it's my favorite movie, and I'll start to cry, and we'll get out the 18-year-old cheese and we'll watch it.
Perfect. That will be a grateful Christmas.
Absolutely. Goulash?
Goulash.
Did we make it?
I think we did.
Because I'm getting green peppers, macaroni, some Worcestershire.
Well, you get the ones off the floor.
True. Okay, now I got a question.
Yeah.
Is this do we use beef? Do we use chicken? Do we use turkey?
Oh, beef.
Oh, you've made goulash with like chicken and turkey, haven't you?
No.
Oh, ooh.
Because I don't want to. I like it with beef.
I'm sure there's some kind of inappropriate comment about you liking the beef that I can make, but I can't quite phrase it.
And I find a lot of gratitude in the fact that you can't do that.
Thank you, Rod.
For once.
Thank you for not knowing what to say.
Yeah. Good God.
Good fun.
How often does that happen?
Not very. But okay.
I'm going to timestamp that in the recording so I know where it happens.
But
use that as
you are grateful when you say things, and you're like, I made Rod not talk. Whatever I said.
Oh, there's only been like 2 times ever.
Right.
I said something that
stunned me.
Yes. Yeah, that was.
And you were grateful for that.
Oh my God, yes. I timestamped those in the recordings too, so that I can go back and listen because it's fun to listen to.
Yeah, we should do an outtake tape.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I think we nailed it.
Okay.
And what actually, I would be grateful if people listening to this would contact us. I'd be very grateful for that because we need the feedback. We need to know that we're reaching people. We need to know if we're touching people. You know, like, are these subject matters
Yep.
you
And we
know,
do get some
meaningful.
feedback, but it would be nice to maybe know. And specifically, tell us what you're grateful for.
Exactly.
Give us-
I thought
tell
about
us
that
the little,
earlier.
especially the
Yeah.
little things.
What's your story? What's your gratitude story?
use us to practice on?
Yep.
Practice having gratitude on us.
Yeah.
Because we're still not great at it either, but we're getting better, and that's what
Every day.
matters.
Every day.
Moving forward every day. And to that point, get out to Chris at forwardwellnessforcaregivers.com and let us know what you're grateful for and keep those messages coming in. And the other thing is we are now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, I don't remember, a whole bunch of different ones.
And I am grateful that you did that, Chris. You did that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I sort of figured it out. Still working on it.
We're going to be famous.
Ooh. Oh, God. That'd be weird.
And how grateful we'd be.
Oh, I'd be so grateful. So grateful. And now I'm even more grateful that we'll be here next week and we'll have another exciting guest.
Absolutely.
All right.
Hey, Chris, I think we had another good show tonight. I think we nailed it. I think we got knocked it right out of the park.
Yeah, Rod, this is our circus and we are our monkeys.
This is so true. I'm really looking forward to the next show. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
I am too, and I thought you were figuring that out, so I guess maybe I'll help you with that.
Let's talk about that. Absolutely. But I'm really looking forward to whatever we talk about. It will be hopefully it'll be helpful. And
it'll be fun.
It will be fun.
So
yes,
as
fun as grief can be.
Exactly. So do not miss next week.
No.